Mm. Hey there, welcome to Pop Culture Cupid.
I'm Alison, love coach, here to help you single people find your way back to love.
And I'm Michal, I'm a single life coach. I help singles embrace themselves and their singleness, as well as develop a healthy self relationship.
In this podcast, we will look at how pop culture impacts romance, dating, and your love life.
And each week, we'll shoot another arrow through another pop culture delusion.
I thought we weren't going to do the whole cheesy thing.
And then burst into smithereens.
Oh my god, dude, that's so cringe!
Sorry, it's in the intro now.
If you make it through the chaos and you enjoy what you hear, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and go to all the social media.
At Pop Culture Cupid on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy!
Let's go. Ooh, recording in progress.
Yay!
Yeah. Ooh, I always feel the pressure of like finding, ways to repeat it in fun ways. Not that I'm going all out of my way. I'm just like remaining still calm, mellow, and cool, and then still giving my little So
Yeah.
Anyway, that was very fascinating.
Fascinating stuff. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
Yeah,
Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that I see. Let's talk about sex. So we've said this several times, but we shall say it again.
I love that song.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, we've said it before that we just basically talk offline about what we're going to talk on our podcast, and sometimes we kind of just go with the flow. It's happened a couple of times where we were gonna start talking about something and then we just kind of do something completely different, which is fine. But today is not going to be one of those days, because we said that we were going to talk. We have been saying that we were going to talk about sex several times, and today's the day.
Now, yeah.
Today's gonna be the day that
it is the day. So I hope
Wow,
you brought your I hope you brought your I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say something I'm not sure if it's PG, so I won't say it.
Okay. I mean, are we a PG podcast?
Anyway.
So
I don't know.
I definitely don't think that we are, but let's.
I was like, I hope you brought your contraceptives. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so let's
anyway
just dive into it. So what is sex? What are we going to talk about sex? I think we're going to talk about, having sex.
Let's dive into it.
As a single person, and like at the beginning of dating. Because I mean, for me, there's all sorts of types of sex, and we're not going to give it a definition. Maybe we should, but I mean,
I'm not sure if you can define, because for every person it's something different. And
yeah, exactly.
Some people would consider, I mean, a lot of people consider obviously non-penetrative sex, or just like fooling around or touch it, or, I don't know, there's a lot of, it's like a spectrum of, and for each person something else is more profound or less profound, or for every person it's different.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got that, and then there's the masturbation and all these things, and
yeah,
and
it's also taboo.
And it's also taboo, and it's so I'm part. So I do tantric yoga, and I'm part of these like communities of want to talk about sex freely and have the best sex of life. Which is kind of what I'm trying to do with, want this podcast, coaching, and everything, and just I want people to feel good about themselves. And it's funny because I started doing that a few years ago, and it made a lot of people feel really uncomfortable. And it was like, sex is the topic that everybody is curious about, and it made people really uncomfortable, and they made me feel really bad about it. And this was, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. Anyway, so let's talk about sex. When's the last time you had sex?
Yeah, Yeah, and you know what? It's also a very natural feeling
It's choppy.
to feel lust and to feel passion and to want to put it bluntly, to feel horny and to want to be touched, want to be pleasured, to want to be pleasured. I don't
To
know
feel
why some of
pleasure.
that sounds so weird in my ear. Um, and to feel pleasure and all of these things, and it's just really natural. It's like, I don't know, it's like being hungry or being thirsty or feeling energetic and wanting to go out on a hike. It's, you know, there's all of these emotions within us as human beings, and for some reason we're made to feel ashamed about certain things or not talk about it because it's taboo. It's like kind of like farting and burping. It's like, oh, don't do that. I mean, I know it's natural gases that you can't always control, and it's like, what are you gonna do? Tell me not to go pee in the end, hold it in because, oh my God, don't do that. No,
Yeah.
sorry about the comparison. But I just think it's such a natural feeling, and to tell someone, keep it to yourself or don't talk about it, it's just gonna, is it no wonder why so many people are, what am I gonna call this, sexually challenged, or there's so many, issues and people having in a conflict with it, people having so many traumatic experiences with it, people harming sexually, people being on the receiving end and having a difficult time talking about it. There's like, it's never ending cycle. And I think a lot of it boils down to the fact that there's no proper sex education, and parents talking about it with their child. It doesn't mean that you have to go into all the details. I don't think you should go into all the details. I think there's certain things that should stay intimate and private because it really is such an intimate thing. But you have to educate your child, and if you don't, how are they supposed to know? It's like the way most people know about sex is from word of mouth. It's from talking about it with their friends. It's from reading about it online, and God only knows which of these sources are legit and reliable and what they're getting into their heads. It's like a broken telephone kind of thing.
Yeah. I feel that I completely agree with everything you just said. We may have had like a bit of a misconnection at the beginning because I don't think you heard my question. So because I know that it will have recorded.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I think because it got a bit choppy and then it kind of caught up with itself. So I'm just going to say it again, and it's fine because we're recording and it's just, the ins and outs of recording a podcast. When is the last time that you had sex?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, the last time I have a boyfriend who's very insatiable, let's call it. He learned this word thanks to me. It's a new word he learned, and I'm very proud of it. Insatiable.
Nice.
But it's been a few days because I haven't seen him in a few days. That's literally why it is. When was the last? What day is today?
Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, so Saturday. How
Okay.
about you?
So we live together and we haven't had sex for actually I was gonna say it feels like a long time, but actually it's just been like 4 or 5 days. So it's fine, but
That
it
is a
does
long
feel like
time
it's
for people.
been
But you know what? Here's the thing, though. This might be a bit digressing to go into it anyway because it sparked it. But I was staying with Zeev for reasons we won't get into right now. I was staying at his apartment a couple of weeks ago for a few days. And so this was during the week while we were both working. And, usually the most time we spend together is over the weekend when we both don't have any work or anything to do. So we're like freely just the both of us. There's nothing on our minds. We're just like, just completely in our bubble. And so it's very rare for us to be together during the week, and especially like living under the same roof, basically. And so during that week, even though we're very sexually active, we weren't very active on that
Mm.
specific week, because you know there's so many things going on your mind and you're all over the place and you're not always in the mood. And I think when you live together and when you're in work mode, it's harder to like let go, get into it. And especially for people, we don't like, you know, just quickies or what is not fun. I just don't like it. It's like, what's the point of it then? I just enjoy the process. So I think it's part of it. It's a huge, like, you know, even when he comes over during the week, it's hard for me to like disconnect and just get into it. And, you know, so yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. So I don't know if I agree with the quickie thing. I think sometimes I kind of, you know, I'll enjoy a quickie. So yeah, JT and I live together, and he has a child that we have 50% of the time. So that kind of puts a spanner in the works of, you know, when we can take time, because I agree, sex is a whole, you know, it's a whole process. It, you know, if you were to start kind of, you know, the intimate part of your relationship, it starts when, you know, you kind of look at each other and like you both know where this is going. Like even though you may be cleaning, you may be doing something or just whatever, like
all the foreplay.
Exactly. And foreplay just starts like way, like so early.
Yeah, we foreplay all the time. Like even when we're not close to having sex, like we foreplay when we're both in the kitchen cooking together. You know, it's like it's all like, and that's how it should be. But yeah, sorry, I'm cutting you off.
I completely agree. And you know, it's keeping that flame active. And we were talking about it with JT, because we were at the beginning of our relationship. Like it's been a couple of months where the how to put this, kind of the not the rhythm but the frequency kind of has died down.
Yeah,
but we've also, you know, we've been through kind of stressful periods, you know, the stuff, you know, family stuff,
it comes and goes. There's no right or wrong here. There's no exact amount that you scientifically have to, you know.
I agree, but it's kind of a thing like sex, as soon as you kind of start to let it go, then it's so easy to just completely forget and never come back.
Yeah. No, you have to do it with caution. You have to make sure that you're on it, that it's not, you're just not letting it die down because, you know.
I agree with that. And I disagree with people who don't schedule sex. You know, you go through this phase of sex just happens when it does, and you don't want to schedule it. It's just like, then if you don't schedule it when you feel like you're losing touch, then it's never going to happen. And so we talked about it. We said, okay, well then you know, Sunday afternoon we'll just, you know, we'll make sure that we make time for sex. And so, and it became this whole kind of ritual of like, we put out the clean sheets, we took a shower, we, you know, we made sure we